everyone for some more of my Forge FC career mode here on FIFA 22. And we are here at the season finale, and we are in the conference semifinals instead of the quarterfinals because we did end up clinching the top spot in the Eastern Conference, which means we have a first round bye, which means we did not participate in the conference quarterfinals, which I'll show you guys that here. But before we continue on, hopefully you guys have an awesome day today. Hopefully you guys doing well. But as you can see, we ended up finishing 8 points clear of second place New York City, which they would end up being the champions, MLS Cup champions in real life. Columbus Crew were the reigning champions going into this particular FIFA. And you can see Orlando City, New England, DC United, Red Bulls, and Philly end up making up the playoff spots. Of course, there is no relegation promotion in America, so we don't have to worry about that. And you can see LAFC, Seattle, Minnesota, Portland, Galaxy, Houston, and San Jose round out the playoff spots here in the Western Conference. And we will be playing one of either New England, DC United, Red Bulls, or Philadelphia. Whatever one is the lowest ranked, I believe, will be the... Actually, we will know. We face DC United. I mean, we already know, but I think they were the lowest seed. Okay, let's see. Orlando, third, and of course New York. So, out of their 3 Eastern Conference matches, DC United was the lowest ranked one. That's why we are versing them in the semifinals, which I can't believe it didn't dawn on me until now, but as an expansion team in 1998, the Chicago Fire not only won the MLS Cup, but also they won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Now, we won't be winning the U.S. Open Cup because we end up getting knocked out in the round of 16 by Portland. But speaking of Portland, they would end up getting knocked out by Seattle, who would end up going on to win the whole thing. They end up beating New England 3-0. But like I said before, I am going to go ahead and sim throughout these entire playoffs. I will be playing the MLS Cup final should we reach there. I'm not holding my breath for that, but I'm going to go ahead and sim it. And actually 2 changes. Braff is in there for Rogers because Rogers ended up getting injured. He's out for 3 months, and unfortunately he is down in overall because of that. But he's in the starting lineup now, and I decided to put Caleb Riley as my starting striker instead of Prince Lamptey because Riley is only 2, actually he's technically 3 overall behind Lamptey, but Lamptey started this at a 70 and Riley's at a 68, so he's only 2 overall lower than Lamptey, which, speaking of second team, I'm going to have to rotate between Gonzalez and Braff in there because I don't have really any decent backup wingers, so I really don't have any good reserve wingers, I should say. But we are going to go ahead. We're going to finish the, we're going to sim through the playoffs here. Which I'm just noticing I hope that doesn't affect the recording. But we are going to go ahead. I need to stop saying we're going to go ahead. I need to start saying something else. I do apologize about that. But we are simming this first match here. Like I said, we are going to be simming every match here in the MLS Cup. But we're going to go ahead and quick sim this. We did lose to DC United in the past, which we end up going through 3-0 in the first leg, which we have one more leg to go yet. And I think I am going to sim with my second team. Oh, yeah, I thought it was only... Okay. Conference finals. Now, if we end up beating New York FC here, we'll be going to the MLS Cup final. But if we don't, which I think I'm going to go ahead and sim this with my second team. Now, if we beat New York City FC with my second team, then we deserve to be in the final. But I'm going to go ahead and sim this against the team that will be the eventual champion. Oh, what was the other one? And it looks like if Portland ends up being San Jose, then, and if New York City ends up beating us, then that will be the MLS Cup final that was in real life in 2021. That would be something. But we are going to go ahead and, again, I'm saying we're going to go ahead again. I am going to sim this with my second team. Like I said, if we could beat New York City with our second team, then we deserve to be in the MLS Cup final. But we are going to sim. First of all, I'm going to go and save this. Okay, this is at the Stadion Europa. We're going to quick sim this. And we end up getting knocked out. They end up beating us by a 3-0 scoreline. So we will not be winning the MLS Cup in our first season, which I'm fine with. I was not planning on winning MLS Cup on my first season, so... But as you can see, we end up losing in the conference finals, which... Like I said, we would have been seriously overachieving had we done that, but we are... Let me see who the... It is a rematch of the MLS Cup final in real life. This is a case of FIFA looking into the future, which obviously we're well past 2021, but FIFA was able to correctly predict who was going to be in the final, and let's see if New York City ends up winning it out here in, I think that said December 5th if I'm not mistaken, so we're going to sim the 6th. But yeah, I have a feeling that Morgan Rogers is going to end up being my new backup, and Bradford's going to end up being my new starter, because a 3-month injury to Rogers and he's already dropped down by an overall, that's not particularly great. But we'll take a look at the squad here in a bit. Okay, we have a loan offer for Adrian Guerra from Chicago Fire. We're going to go ahead and delegate that. And while we're already here, we might as well look at the squad report here. If there's any in particular you want to look at, both on attributes and stats and stuff, you can just go, not stats, but attributes and skills and all that, you can go ahead and pause the video. Yeah, quite a few Ukrainians, few Canadians, and a few Mexicans. Depending on what our youth academy, what our youth objective is going to be next year, I don't plan on going and doing a youth academy next year. Which, funnily enough, I actually went to school with a guy named David Bennett, so that's actually pretty cool. Not that any of you care, but I just think that's cool. But again, we're going to look at attributes here. Again, if there's anybody in particular you want to look at, you can just go ahead and pause the video. We do have a really good, and I promoted a bunch of players too. So we do have a really good youth academy. I mean, I'll be playing this for another, I was going to say, I know I initially said about 3 seasons. I'm going to say at least 4 seasons I'll have this career mode. So it gives me plenty of time to see how these youth players develop throughout their time here. And we'll take a look at who won the MLS Cup here as soon as we're done with looking at objectives and that. But again, I did give a $50 million budget. I really wish the game would have given us an option of 25. Though we did end up, you can see players purchased, we only spent 13.5. So, and that is around the budget that a normal MLS team would have. So, even though none of my career modes are meant to be realistic, just for those that whine about them being unrealistic, at least there's at least some realism that I do. Because even though I do say that my the way I say it, the big reason why I say these career modes are unrealistic, and first and foremost, this is a video game. But if I do take some realistic measures in some of these career modes, I'm giving myself that option as well. I'm not just leaving it open-ended. And we're going to look at transfer history real quick. And the costs end up going to Real Salt Lake. Not release clause. I mean, I needed him off the books anyway, but you can see a bunch of players are going out on loan. And this is pretty much what you guys have already seen. But we are going to Before we look at the squad, we are going to take a look at who won the MLS Cup. And it is in real life. It didn't go to penalties like in real life or extra time, but I think it did go to penalties. But New York City FC does beat Portland 2-1 to win the MLS Cup. So New York City was FIFA is not only able to correctly predict who was going to be in the final, but they correctly predicted who was going to be winning the entire tournament. So that is that. Leading goal scorer, Ashley Fletcher from New York Red Bulls. Top assister goes to Morales, tied with Rodriguez. Morales of New York and Rodriguez for Atlanta. Let me show. Our top goal scorer was Lamptey with 16, Riley with 11, and we had Gonzalez with 10. Lamptey with the most assists with 16, so... Wait. So Lamptey had 16 goals. No, that's not right. Okay, now we go. Anibal had the most assists. Sorry about that, everybody. Gonzalez and Cano with 5 each. Sorry I messed things up there. Next year I ended up getting 8 clean sheets, considering he only had 3 at the beginning. That's not half bad. US Open Cup, we really weren't in that competition all that long. I don't think to really see none of our players in that. Lamptey did get 2. And then the only other competition we were in was the preseason, which Lamptey was leading goal scorer there. Anibal was the leading assister there. Nesher and Burns each with a clean sheet. But we are going to be taking a look at the team here. I do need to look at development plans. Let's see. This is where I want to go. No surprise, Lamptey, top goal scorer, 18-3 through 26 appearances. Anybody in particular we'll look at, you just go ahead and pause the video. I'm just going to talk about each of these players. Lamptey is going to be a part of this team no matter what, even because, like I said, Riley is going to be my new starter, but Lamptey, he still has another good 4 seasons left in him, so as far as my striking position, I'm good for the foreseeable future. Riley's only 22 years of age. I do expect him to get, at the very least, mid-70s by the end of Season 3 or sometime around Season 4. Gonzalez has grown by 10. He's now at a 76, which is awesome to see. 10-5 through 25. Anibal grown by 3. He is 28, so hopefully Wilson will be able to pick things up a bit. And Rogers was at a 74. He did drop down to a 73, unfortunately. Let me see something here. He is going to be fit. It's going to take him another month. He did get an LCL injury, so... Tommy Doyle, my starting center mid alongside Galarza. Jaden Braff, most likely would be my new starting left wing. Joey Wilson, grown by a couple. Not too bad, but... I'm expecting more. I mean, he is 26, though, so... This is a guy I want to look at, especially Kovalchuk. Artem Kovalchuk, he was a guy that scored the hat-trick in the season finale. I don't even remember who we were versing in that game, but we ended up getting and playing with him. He was absolutely fantastic to catch. A backup, 68, which is pretty good. Baker, starting left back, grew by 4. Galarza, a starting center mid, our highest rated center mid at a 71. Miller grown by 4, which is impressive. He's now at a 62. Olenek was another player like Kovalchuk that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Our left winger, he did awesome in that season finale. Boyko, of course, is out on loan on Moreirense. Yuri Pachuca at FCSB. Kelly grown at Luton by 3. Sandoval grew by 14, but I think that was due to position change. He's at Chamois right now. Jonassen over in, I believe that's a Chinese club. And Fuchs grown by a couple at his time in Ireland with Waterford. And there's Myers' stats right there. I kind of zipped through that. Taliga, I just newly promoted. And a bunch of these other guys are just fringe players. Hopefully I'll be able to get them out on loan. DeCosta will be on his way out. He's going to Real Salt Lake. Yeah, these are just pretty much most youth academy graduates. Fernandes was part of the original team. Ayala growing by 13. That's due to position change. He's at a 55. Korkazoglu was my starting right back, but he ended up getting usurped by Fresneda. So Burns, our backup goalkeeper, is grown by 3. Victor Nelson, a former captain. I do want to eventually get him as captain at some point, but because he will be taking the place eventually of James White, because he's 3 years younger, and White is our captain for the time being. He's at 75. Gordson, he's also 25. He's grown by 4. He's at a 74. That's due to position change mostly. Fresneda grown by 8. Awesome growth from him. And Neshirt grew by 5. He's now at a 7. That last game took us to 70 with him. So our entire starting lineup now is all 70 rated, which is awesome to see. But we are going to take a look at player attributes. I'm also going to be looking at development plans as well. I'm going to be going through development plans here as you guys are checking out. Player attributes, DaCosta is going to be on his way. I don't really care about that. Meyer, our backup left back, and Baker, our starting left back. Okay. 13 weeks as a sweeper. Hopefully Guerrero will be out on loan, but if not, it's going to take him 12 weeks to reach a 61. And it's going to take only 2 weeks for Pereira to get to 61. Fernandes, looks like it's going to be 28 weeks on bad form for him to reach a 68. Nelson, 57 weeks on bad form to reach a 72. That's not terrible. Goodson, 65 on okay form to reach a 75. I can live with that. 14 on good to reach a 76 for James White. That's pretty good. But yeah, I hate to say it like this, but for MLS standards, we are becoming an elite team, and the growth of this team has been absolutely insane. It's been way better than what I thought it would be. So I think if we don't win the MLS Cup next year, we should definitely win it by season 3. Okay, 12 weeks. I do want to improve his weak foot. Miller, 110 on bad form. That's not great, but I'll live with it. Okay, 16 on okay form. I do want to give him 5-star in skill. And eventually I do want to give him high work rates. But as you can see, Tommy Doyle already has the 5 and high work rates. So it's just pretty much just helping him continue to grow. We'll go ahead and give him the ball-winning one. Ew. Now this is a little bit concerning, but it is bad form, so hopefully he'll reach 68, maybe a 69 next year. Okay, 9 weeks with Kovalchuk, I'll live with that. Okay, Alex Bird. I do want to give him high attacking work rate and better pace. Ambrose. Again, I'm going to give him high attacking work rate and improve his pace. Taliga. Looks like 4 weeks as a shadow striker in order for him to reach a 53. Annabelle, I have about 2 more seasons with him before he starts to drop off. It looks like I'm going to be keeping him under the Dynamo plan. Morgan Rogers, hopefully he'll bounce back from his injury. I am a little bit concerned about that. And all these guys, I'm just training for the opposite side. It's just going to... Jaden Brath will probably most likely be my new... And to be honest with you, as much as I like Morgan Rogers, as much as he's done well, I think I do like Brath a little bit more. So switching him to being my starting left wing instead of Morgan Rogers isn't going to be that much of a shock to me. Because I do like him as well. Pasquale... Let's improve his weak foot. Riley... 11 weeks and okay, I'll live with that. He'll reach a 69 in no time. Pause. Okay, looks like it's going to take him 24 and okay. He should reach a 72. Actually, I kind of do want to improve his weak foot a little bit, but I kind of... I'm not going to die, because, like I said, he does have 4 good seasons left in him, so... But I do want to make Caleb Riley my eventual starting striker, but I think unless there's something in the newsfeed or something that I'm forgetting, which I don't think there is, I think that's pretty much gonna be a wrap here for season number 1. And with the exception of Riley, which I can easily juxtapose Lamptey for there, my entire starting lineup is, which I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I'll go ahead and do that next year. But because of that, our entirety of our starting lineup is at least 70 rated. So that is that. Team in the tournament. Let me see if we have anybody in there or not. I doubt it. Yeah, Wait, that's not Ashley Fletcher. That's another Fletcher. I need to find out which Fletcher they're talking about. Sean Johnson, goalkeeper of the tournament. No surprise there. You can see Stearns with a hat trick. Okay, I don't care about Ballon d'Or. That has nothing to do with us. But who did we beat for the season? Oh, we beat, how could I forget, New England. But let me take a look at team stats here. Let me see, because I don't know why I said Ashley Fletcher. That's not Ashley Fletcher. Oh, it is Ashley Fletcher. Okay. So I was right to begin with. Okay. What do I know? But I shouldn't have second guessed myself. That was indeed Ashley Fletcher. But, let me see. I'll just, for craps and giggles, let's just go through here. I mean, we already showed all the stats, but yeah, we're definitely up in the higher tier of the MLS pyramid here. And my goal for next season, of course, that'll change depending on what our objective is, what the board wants from us. But as far as my objective next year, I do want to at least reach the conference final of the MLS Cup playoffs, and I do want to win a U.S. Open Cup next year. So those gotta be my personal objectives next year. Hopefully we can get that. At least we can. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up some silverware. I will not be doing the preseason tournament next year. I'm gonna skip the preseason tournament. I don't really plan on making any transfers next year. I think I'm just going to keep the team as is because the growth on the team has been phenomenal. So the next time I see you guys will most likely be, I think the first competitive game of the season is a U.S. Open Cup game. If not, it will be the MLS season opener in next episode. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I'll be seeing you guys again next time.